In this video, I'm going to attempt the no sink challenge with dumplings. This means we can't wash any plates or take any food cards that require using a sink for water. Let's find out if it's possible to reach day 15 in franchise without using a sink. The game doesn't actually let you trash the sink, so I'm just going to stick it in the corner of the restaurant and pretend it doesn't exist. Let's get day 1 started. Now, if you want to try the challenge out for yourself, it is important to find a seed that gives you less than 4 customers on the first day. Since you only start out with 4 plates in the starter stack. This is why I'm attempting the challenge with dumplings first, since the game gives a 30% reduction to group count due to the recipe's complexity. Normally, with dumplings you could combine the flour with water from a sink to instantly make a dough ball. However, since we don't have a sink, I will have to knead the flour by hand and wait to get a mixer to be able to automate it. We made it to day 2. I'm going to save the research desk blueprint so it stays in the staple pool, making it more likely for another research table blueprint to show up the next day. Plus, we can't afford it anyway. It's very important to buy the plates. If we didn't get a plate blueprint, the challenge would end here, since it is possible for up to 6 customers to come in the next day. Looks like we got 5 customers to serve. You probably don't want to watch me manually cook up dumplings again, so I'll fast forward to the end of the day. If you want to watch the whole challenge play out unedited, I'll leave a link to that video in the description. Consider this video the director's commentary edition. Now on day 3, I buy a research desk to be able to research the first research desk. Since we have up to 3 customer groups, I buy a 3rd dining table, so I can avoid having to pick up dirty plates to make room for another group to sit down. This also means I can ring in everyone at the start of the day for extra money and not worry about having customers stand outside in the rain. I was lucky and got a copy desk from researching. Unfortunately, we won't be able to afford it tomorrow. Now to pick our first card choice on day 4. The obvious choice is seaweed. Since we are limited by the number of plates, as well as places to put dirty ones, if we need to free up the table for a new group to sit down. Seaweed for the 15% reduction in customers makes much more sense than closing time, which would increase the number of groups we have to serve. A big part of the no sink challenge is how to handle the dirty plates. If a group of 2 eats, that is 2 dirty plates that have to be picked up. Even if you have a dish rack that can hold 4 dirty plates, it's best to leave the plates stacked on the table. I'll go over some strategies that can allow you to do this later in the video. But first, day 5, we still can't afford the copy desk, but we can buy a blueprint cabinet. If we want to automate dumplings or seaweed, we are going to need a safety hob. I did make one mistake during this day. I should have moved the research table to only research the hob, since I wanted to buy the copy desk. So me failing to research before the day ends was 100% intended, since I could not be sure which cabinet would be affected, and did not want to risk losing the copy desk. On day 6, I was hoping to have charming as a theme choice, but it was not meant to be. I went with formal. The theme choice doesn't end up affecting this run, since I don't end up buying any decoration items. The good news is we can now buy the copy desk. Since we are now up to 4 groups, I split up the tables. This way I don't have to clean any of the dirty dishes before another group can sit down. That is the reason I wanted charming as a theme choice. At level 3, customers will sit down at a table, even if there are dirty plates still left on it. However, there are other ways to get the same effect. I will show how later, on day 9. Don't worry, I did remember to research and ended up getting the safety hob. On day 7, I had the choice between soy sauce and all-you-can-eat. I went with all-you-can-eat because of the larger 30% reduction to expected customer groups. It is better to have one group eat twice than have 2 different groups eat once and have to clear the dirty plates off the table between the 2 groups. I purchased the safety hob and another plate stack, which should be enough plates for the rest of the run. I lucked out and was able to re-roll to get another research desk to research, and even a blueprint cabinet to copy. Nothing much happened during day 7. No one ordered a second course, and I didn't even use the new dish rack I purchased. Research-wise, I was hoping for a discount desk, but ended up with another copy desk. On day 8, I was able to gather more of the stuff I would need to automate dumplings, like a combiner, and unexpectedly re-rolled into a conveyor mixer. I also saved a coffee table blueprint to copy. It's not necessary to complete the run, but it does allow me to ring more customers in on the booking desk, and so will pay itself off by the end. What you just witnessed is the only time I used the dish rack during the entire run. Because of what I'm about to set up on day 9, it will become obsolete tomorrow. Hit the like button to pay respects to the dish rack. Assuming I do make it to day 15, no spoilers in the comments, we are at the halfway point of the run. So it's a good time to remind you to also please subscribe if you want to see more PlateUp content. Now day 9, the day I've been hyping up this whole run, and where I will now reveal the secret strategy to winning a no-sync challenge. Put your guess for what it is in the comments below. It's not the coffee table I just purchased, but the humble hosting stand. When is the last time you purchased a hosting stand when playing PlateUp? The hosting stand allows you to decide where customers should sit, by picking up and placing the menu on top of it on any table. This might not seem like a useful feature, but just wait to see it in action. You see that? The next group of customers sat down without you having to pick up and clean the dirty plates away. The hosting stand can give you the buff of having level 3 charming, even if you don't pick charming as your theme. The hosting stand can also be fully automated, so you don't have to manually place down the menus on tables. Check out my The Autodog Overtime Day 45 video for an example of fully automated hosting stands in action. Since we don't have a sink to provide the water needed to make mashed potatoes, we don't have a choice but to go with the double helpings card on day 10. Other than the card pick, the only thing of note about day 10 is the discount table was finally purchased, so we can start discounting the things needed to set up auto dumplings. Day 11 was similarly as uneventful as day 10. I just continued to discount desk the items that would need to be purchased to set up dumpling automation. On day 12, I purchased the combiners, one of the conveyor mixers, as well as a couple of extra dining and coffee tables. I realized at this point I should have started earlier towards researching the grabbers that I would need to automate. So I tried re-rolling to get either a conveyor blueprint to research or grabber blueprint to copy, but didn't have any luck. It was nice having the conveyor mixer to chop the meat and not have to do it by hand anymore. If I attempt this challenge again, I'm going to at least get a sharp knife or workstation to chop with, if I don't get a mixer set up earlier in the run. Day 13, the next card choice between soy sauce or empathy. I went with soy sauce for the 15% customer reduction. I finished purchasing the rest of the mixers needed for dumpling automation and was able to re-roll to get some grabbers and conveyors to research. Since I'm using the hosting table strategy, I can just put a bottle of soy sauce on top of each set of tables at the start of the day and just leave it there. I would normally have the soy sauce on a grabber next to the table to automate it, but I don't have any grabbers to spare. Alas, I forgot to rotate the blueprint cabinet sideways, so blocked myself from accessing the discount desk. Day 14. Now to try to assemble the dumpling automation machine. I first tried to set it up vertically, but that didn't fit, so I changed it to a horizontal setup. If you are trying to automate dumplings yourself, do not follow this design on screen, it will break as you will see when the day starts. As you can see, the first dumpling produced will only have carrot in it. Normally, you would want to have a smart grabber set to an uncooked wrapped dumpling to ensure a grabber doesn't pull it out of the mixer before the chopped meat is ready to be combined. Or just use a heated mixer in place of the conveyor mixer kneading the flour, so the kneading and cooking steps happen on the same tile, avoiding the problem. And this is the moment I realize my mistake, and don't have a place to trash the unfinished dumpling, so start panicking. Placing it on the starter hob means I can't cook seaweed, but thankfully the first group to order didn't want any. At this point I worked out I don't need to use both tables, so I can place the unfinished dumpling down on the left table. If I didn't have another place to put down the carrot dumpling, that would have been the end of the run. As long as there was chopped meat ready on the combiner, the dumpling machine would still work, but I could not afford to make another mistake dumpling. I was able to successfully play out the rest of day 14, making sure to be patient and only pull out a dumpling when the chopped meat was ready. Day 15, the last day. Unfortunately, none of the grabbers researched turned into smart grabbers, leaving the machine unable to be fixed. I purchased a second safety hob to set up cooked seaweed automation. I also put down a counter, so I would at least have somewhere to store one mistake. With no money left to try re-rolling for a heated mixer or smart grabber, this is our final setup for the final day. As a band-aid fix to the dumpling machine, I'm picking up and down the flour to delay the first dough ball being made, until the meat is finished chopping. If you want to see what a proper working dumpling setup looks like, check out my dumpling automation guide video. Since this is the final day, I'm going to let it play out in real time and not speed it up. To recap, this has been a no-sink challenge run, with the challenge rules being we can't use the sink to wash any dishes or to cook any food. Considering this is the last day of the challenge, I'm not sure why I'm spending the time to research. If you want to see me try this challenge with other foods, or have an idea for another challenge to try, let me know in the comments below. And with the last customer served, that is the challenge completed. Showing it is possible to beat PlateUp and franchise your restaurant without a sink. Considering how hard it was to get grabbers in this run, I'm going with the conveyor's card. If you have enjoyed this video, please check out my other PlateUp videos and subscribe for more.